Bowhunt or Die is being brought to you by Matthews, Lost Camo, New Archery Products, Tinks, Lone Wolf Portable Tree Stands, Stealth Cam, Carbon Express, Hunter Safety System, Heartland Wildlife Institute, Moose Utility Division, Pine Ridge Archery, and the Can Cooker.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Bowhunt or Die. I'm Todd Graf. As always, Justin Czar is at my side, and we're ready to bring you some great bow hunting action. Justin, we got some pretty cool stuff this week.
Yeah, that we certainly do. You know, any of you who watch us on Facebook, you know, there's about 67,000 of you out there that are fans of ours on Facebook, may have seen some of this that we posted, what was it, a week ago now, I think, Todd? 2 bucks locked up out on the property where Todd hunts. One of them was dead. Yep. One of them was still alive. Todd Graf, the man, the legend, goes out there and saves the buck that was still alive. I mean, something that, you know, for many of us, once in a lifetime type of thing, you know, to see something like that.
There's no question about it. When I got the call from my friend Mike, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. And we made the executive decision that we weren't going to go out that night to see if we can free him. We just figured it was just going to be way too difficult in the dark. So we waited for the next morning. We thought for sure that the coyotes would get these, or who knows, I don't know, they would come unreleased, or maybe the one deer would drag the other one away. But sure enough, we got there the next morning. They were still locked together. Take a look at this footage. Well, we're on another deer hunting goose chase here. I got lucky and tagged out with my last buck. Got a phone call from a friend of mine on a piece of property that we regularly hunt. And unfortunately, when he was out hunting last night, he saw a buck that he thought was tending a doe. Well, it turns out it wasn't tending a doe. It actually is locked up with another buck. But by the time that he got to it, it was too dark. Couldn't do anything about it last night. We're hoping that the coyotes didn't get to the deer and that we can get these bucks freed so they live another year, so we can keep chasing these bucks from year to year. So let's see what happens. Hopefully they didn't die from exhaustion of fighting last night, and we can release them. So here we go. Let's see how this turns out. Don't look good, guys. Nah, he died last night. Darn it. Oh no, he's alive. Okay guys, well, it looks like he bedded down all night. Unfortunately, as you can see, he's still tangled up. So we've got a couple other guys back here. They're gonna give us a hand. The other buck is definitely dead. So our goal is to get that one antler cut and get that buck released. So that's the goal. I mean, he's such a nice animal. We hate to, you know, what you hope in a situation like this is that he didn't waste so much energy that even if we get him freed that he dies. He's got a long winter to go here, but he's a beautiful deer. We're gonna figure out how we're gonna get him released and hopefully he lives. So let's come up with a plan here.
I think you want to get both of them. Yeah, just watch it.
If for some reason that deer gets free, guys, it's gonna run hard, fast. All right, go ahead and come on that way, Mike.
Yeah, I'm coming. Hold on.
And then if we could not stand right in front of the camera. Dad, I got him. Dad, I got him, guys. I know. We're gonna run away. Hold on. When I say you first.
Dave, back up.
Don't go in front of the camera, please.
Dave, Dad, back up.
His head's been so tied up. He's just got to get his bearings. His neck's been so... All we can do is hope they'll bed down now. Yeah. Well, we're definitely not professional rodeo stars by any means, but I'll tell you what, that first lasso, when he came around, we got him free. You know, he's kind of moving a little funky, but I think that's because he's had his neck just locked in one spot for so long. I think he's going to be okay. We saw where he went and bedded down. We'll give him some time, and we'll probably check on him about an hour from now, make sure that he's gone. But here's the one side off the one buck.
Boy, look at how this
right here.
is totally broken.
So unbelievable. I mean, we pulled it off, and I think we did it with causing about the most minimal harm to that buck that we could. So let's hope that he survives. That's all we can hope for. We saved one of the two. So I think once he gets back in there and he beds down for a while and catches his breath, kind of like I need to catch my breath right now, he'll be in good shape.
You know, Todd, one thing that I think is always, I don't want to say, I guess, ironic about, you know, these types of situations is here we are all fall, we're dedicating hundreds of hours of our time to go out and try to kill these deer, you know, and now you're spending a bunch of time trying to save this deer's life, which, you know, ultimately it is a pretty cool thing, you know, when you've got two deer like that locked up together. I mean, that's a horrible way for an animal to have to die. So, I mean, you guys definitely did the right thing. I mean, watching that footage, I know my heart was kind of pumping, and I was thinking, you know, what's going to happen? Is Todd going to get hurt? Are they going to be able to pull this off? I mean, for you, you were there. I mean, what were you thinking? What was going through your brain?
You know, Justin, that's a great question, man. I'm not really sure what was going through my brain. I mean, this is something that I've always wanted to come across in the woods. I mean, I spent so many hours in the woods. I've always wanted to find or see this. I mean, I've seen plenty of bucks fight, but I've never actually seen them where they've gotten locked together. And I mean, these two bucks, as you saw in that footage, I mean, they were more than stuck together. And guys, you're seeing the footage, but I mean, the dead buck was already chewed apart. I mean, the whole back end of the buck was chewed apart by coyotes. I mean, I could only imagine being that other buck literally staring down at the coyotes as they were eating the dead buck, which is just crazy to me.
Well, and I mean, if you guys saw in the footage, I mean, that other buck, he'd been dead for some time. I mean,
at least 2 days.
A couple of days.
Definitely.
At that point. So, I mean, this buck's been dragging this deer around, and yes, he was exhausted, but for him to still have the energy and the power to drag and throw that other deer around just shows you how strong these animals are. I mean, it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it really is. And I'll tell you what, as you see in the footage, the one buck runs away and he looks like he's a little disoriented. As the buck got further away, where we just couldn't focus in on him any further, he really did start composing himself, and he looked a lot better the further that he got away. So, I mean, I got to be honest with you. I am really convinced that he's going to make it, and he may be on my hit list next year. But
I mean, only time will tell. Have to see if you find his sheds or get any trail camera pictures of him. So,
definitely.
You know, once again, Todd's, I guess your season of dreams has continued. You know, for those of you who don't know, actually, Todd did shoot another buck.
I did.
Actually, a day or two before this footage, which we're going to have for you guys in a couple weeks. But in the meantime, we've got some more exciting bow hunting action from a couple of our guys out doing a little bit of late season doe management. So let's take a look at that now.
Hey, it's November 6th. I am en route to northern Wisconsin. I'm going to spend a week, maybe less, I guess, if I get a big buck, but going to do some serious rut hunting. I think it's going to start to pop up there this week. So, pretty excited, pretty jacked up. We got a little treat this morning. Woke up and we got snow on the ground. We got snow falling. Oh, man. Just wound up tight right now. Got my Illinois buck on the ground already. So I just got to put my tag on a big Wisconsin bruiser. So stay tuned. See what happens this week. Hey guys, November 7th. It's just breaking light. I'm hunting in a bedding area off of a bunch of ag fields, a couple 100 yards off of those fields. I actually drug a Tink 69 scent line in here from the trail that I walked in on. And then I've got a couple of different buck lures. So we got a whole bunch of different scents going in here, trying to make it look like something's happening. So I'm gonna actually crack the horns here in a little bit and see if I can't get something to circle downwind all this scent and come in for a little sniff. So let's see what happens. kind of locked down with that doe. From the looks of her back, it looks like he's already been breeding her. I'll be back in this tree tonight and tomorrow morning. Hopefully that buck's still tending that doe because she's local. And she'll be bedding in here again somewhere tomorrow morning. Well, it's November 12th. I'm up in northern Wisconsin again. Took the weekend off. We had some nasty weather. We had a major cold front come through. It was 65 yesterday and it's 25 right now. We got 25 degrees, a really stiff west wind blowing. It's going to be miserable out in the tree stand this morning, but I'm hoping there's going to be something going on out there. That's what keeps us moving. The thoughts of big bucks. There's the big doe that I've been looking for. I actually got 4 doe tags for this zone 6 up here. So that's gonna be, that'll be the first one I put my tag on. So there. I think I made a good shot on her. I'm gonna sit for a while longer and then we'll try to go do a recovery on her. Get down, take up the blood trail on that doe, and hopefully she'll just be laying up the trail 75-80 yards. So let's go get her. I can taste the back straps already. Man, oh man, that kill zone really opened her up, didn't it? Man, oh man, that's sweet. It's nice to shoot a head that rips them open that big. She's just gonna be laying up here pretty quick, I think. Well, here's the doe that I shot this morning. The kill zone did its job, put a big hole in her. The hunter was a little bit off. I ended up shooting her in the liver like I tend to do. 3 more tags to go. Maybe I'll whack another 1 or 2 tonight. See if I can hit one right. Stay tuned, more bow hunt or die coming up.
Well, here we go. It's November 25th. We are heading to a spot that I love to hunt. It's just loaded with does. The rut's about done, I think, so they'll probably be starting to check for some doe fawns that are coming into the estrus cycle here before too long. Second gun season is into this week, next weekend, so hopefully we can get out here, hopefully get a couple does whacked, and who knows, maybe a big buck will step out. There's a couple real old deer here on this farm that I'd love to kill. One's a 10-pointer that I got 3 sheds to. That he's 7 years old and he hasn't grown in 3 years, and he just needs shot. He's probably about 165. So we've got a lot of food on this farm, so we ought to see at least a deer, hopefully.
Welcome to the tree. We are sitting here. It's November 25th, weekend of Thanksgiving. Haven't really been seeing a whole lot of deer movement during daylight hours. It's been right on the verge of a full moon now, so a lot of nighttime action, I think, on the trail cameras. So we got a couple stealth cams on this oak ridge coming to this food plot. A lot of does have been coming to this food, so decided to slip in here tonight. It's not a very long walk. It's pretty cold, about 30 degrees. There's no wind whatsoever, so I think these deer will be up on their feet, hopefully before dark, and looking for something good to eat. We've got a buffet here of food. We got standing corn, standing beans, turnips, clover, alfalfa, chicory, and
these ridges, so we've got about every food source known to deer, I think, all within 100 yards of us. We've got 3 cameras up here. We've got a still cam Epic, my big camera, and then we got another remote camera on the food plot, kind of aiming back at us, kind of seeing if we can get some cool angles. So, ought to be a good night. Self-video, and stay with me. Bowhunt or die. Smoked a big old doe, 30 yards. I held it right on her heart. She lowered into it perfectly. She only ran maybe 25 yards off the field and crashed. These 2 little deer out here never even knew what was going on. You gotta love shooting a Matthews. I mean, they're the quietest bow on the market. When I have deer at 50 yards, I shoot one at 30, and they don't even look at me. That's amazing. One of these fawns is a button buck. He went in the woods to investigate. I still have the little doe fawn out here in the field. If she walks by me, she's in trouble too. I think that doe I just shot was in heat. She came in by herself and she's acting really weird. Shot a second doe of the night. I tell you what, food plots are the key for good deer hunts. I mean, she was 19 yards on the ridge, walking out of that ravine, self-video. My heart shot her. She went about 15 steps, fell over, and then slid at the bottom of this big ravine. So that'll be fun getting her out.
As you can see, at least 2 dead deer at the bottom of the hill with a perfect heart shot. I smoked her too, by the way. Well, I pulled a double tonight on a couple does. Actually, one big mature doe and a yearling doe here. Shot the big one first, about 30 yards. She ran in the woods and expired about 30 yards after the shot. And this little girl came in, gave me a 20-yard shot in the timber, broadside, and I heart shot her, and she died down in the ravine. She was straight downwind when I shot her. Don't think she even knew I was there. One thing about it, they love this clover this time of year. When it's the only thing that's still green, get on it, because that's where all the deer were. And they're coming out pretty early tonight, so bowhunt or die.
As always, we want to take a moment to thank the people who sent in their trophies for this week's show. Scott Wampler, Brandon Turner, Justin Misker, Wells Kennedy, and Scott Buckle. Congratulations, everybody. Those are some great trophies. Remember, if you want to see yourself right here in an episode of Bowhunt or Die, all you've got to do is log on to the homepage of bowhunting.com, click on the Submit Your Trophy button in the upper right-hand corner, and you may see yourself right here in our next episode.
Well, that's all the excitement we have for this week's episode of Bowhunt or Die. Before we leave, we got a couple announcements that we have to make. There's not going to be a show next week as we're going to be tending the ATA.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to be down in Louisville for the annual ATA show, which is, where we get kind of an exclusive first look at a lot of the new products coming out for 2013. So you guys got to make sure, if you want to know what's going on, you want to be the first ones to see it, check bowhunting.com's homepage, check the bowhunting.com forums, and also, check us out on Facebook and Twitter. We're going to be posting updates live from the show every single day that we're there. So that's the first thing, obviously, we wanted to tell you. No show next week. The other thing is there are still some archery seasons out there that are going on right now.
Definitely.
So it's a great time if you can brave the cold and manage to find the deer if you've got some good food to do some doe management. Obviously we saw in this episode, guys were out shooting a couple does, trying to balance that buck to doe ratio out a little bit. Get some food for the freezer.
And hey, you never know, Justin. There's time too to still get lucky and shoot a buck. I mean, I have found a few shed antlers already that are popping off, but you know what? It was only a week ago I shot my buck, and Frankie shot a buck too. So there is still time where you can shoot a buck.
Yeah, absolutely. We got 2 more great late season bow hunts coming up for you guys. So be sure to check back in 2 weeks. We're going to bring you Frankie Clark's hunt. He shoots about 150 plus inch deer, on one of his Heartland Wildlife food plots down there in central Illinois. The week after that, we're going to have Todd's hunt for his buck over his turnip plot. So make sure you check back in 2 weeks right here on Bowhunt or Die.
In the meantime, don't forget to check out facebook.com/bowhunting for daily updates, news, photos, and other exciting information. We want to hear your opinions and your stories. So join us now and like us on Facebook. Oh! Welcome to another exciting episode of Bowhunt or Die. Justin, I can't believe that we're already staring into each other's eyes.
Yes, it's so cute, isn't it?
Announcements before we leave. You need to pay attention to.
You need to pay attention here. Listen up.